Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is Thursday night, 9:09 on February 19th of 2026. Uh, we're back, Lee.
We're
How you
back.
feeling?
I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. We predicted that James Harrison would come out with something,
Yeah.
and he has. He's responded to Joey Porter. So I figured when I pull it up is 19 minutes. We're probably not going to go through all 19 minutes, but I figured we'll let him go off for a little bit
Yeah,
here
for
at the
sure.
beginning. All
Yeah,
right,
for sure. Sounds good.
so let me pull him up. He's on the Debo and Joe show. Here we go, right here.
We got to get into,
A lot has happened. A lot has happened.
Yeah. We got to get into what Joey Porter Sr. said. First, I want to say this, though.
Okay.
I want to say me and Joey have talked at length about this. We have not minced words. If you heard us talk, you heard us conversation. If it was recorded, you would have thought it was on and popping. I hung up on my nigga, all that. We brothers fight. Okay.
Brothers fight. Family feud.
Now, I'm sure you heard the comments.
So opening thoughts on that? He said he hung
Yeah.
up on Joey Porter.
Yeah. Obviously, it wasn't a conversation. I guess he thought it was going to go. I will say this, and it'll go into more as we're watching. He is a lot calmer than I thought he was going to be during this whole little podcast episode when he's talking about this topic. I thought he would be the yelling guy that we saw in some of the clips where he's talking about how bad the Steelers are playing and yelling at the coaches and things like that. I thought he would be, but he's a little more level-headed here. So I respect that with him, with how he talks about this whole ordeal. But yeah, definitely you could definitely tell it didn't go the way he thought it was going to go, I guess, with Joey Porter.
I don't even know if it'll be that. It's that, or he's just standing on what he believes.
Standing on what he, yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But for y'all that didn't, here's what he said.
Well, he broke the brotherhood. Then Seven definitely broke the brotherhood because,
that's the one I don't
the
understand as
shit
much.
that Seven did that we don't talk about.
I know.
Is crazy. Like out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business. Yeah. Because if we talking Steeler business, his ass is foul of all foul. Like the shit that he's did is foul of all foul. He's not a good teammate. Won a Super Bowl with him, but the person, he's just not a good teammate. Like he knows that. Anybody in the Steeler building knows that, but we protected him because I've only won one Super Bowl, and that was my quarterback. So do I love my quarterback? Yeah, but is he a good person? No.
Y'all, they didn't play the part that he said about me. I don't know why y'all didn't.
Somebody's about to get their ass beat.
Yeah.
You need to get that in there. But what he said was,
What he said?
he basically had said that we told our version of our story in Pittsburgh. Okay. And now when you read in between the lines on that, you would imply that our version means it's a lie because people read in between the lines. Would you imply that? If I said that's your version?
I mean, no. I mean, everybody has their own version to the story. Different parts.
Okay. So when it comes down to this, that's my version, Ben's version, whatever it may be. This is his version, okay? He believes Mike Tomlin is a great coach. And the reasons that he gave behind that was that he said, I should be more loyal to him because my name, Debo, I had 3-4 Pro Bowls, Defensive Player of the Year. I played in 2 championships. He paid me $50 million, changed my life. Power cut me 3 times, and he feels like I took a shot at him and I broke the brotherhood. Okay. So when you say these things, Joe, it implies that he gave me it, right? Like he gave me this. First, he didn't give me the name Debo. Brett Kiesel gave me the name Debo, okay? He didn't give me Pro Bowls. He didn't make me the only undrafted player to ever win Defensive Player of the Year. and get paid $50 million, okay? Again, implying that it was given to me undeservingly, okay? It wasn't. Coward cut me 3 times. Hell, I would have cut me. Did you see my football life? Like, I would have cut me. I earned everything I was given, even the cuts. Now, he says Mike Tomlin is great. I say he's a good coach, dude. And here's
before he gets into Tomlin, what do you think of that there? I fair points by Harrison. I think when Porter talked about it last week, we said he was saying some fair points too. I think both sides have got legs to stand on here.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some good points here said by James Harrison for sure. And I think I had brought it up last time, but he brought it up. It was the same thing. He talked about, he's like, did you see my football life? I would have cut me too. Like, you know, he understands, like, he wasn't where he was at level-headed at that time with Bill Cowher, you know, and they go into it more when you talk about it, that at different ages, you're a different mindset with different things. But I mean, yeah, he definitely has some good points on what it was. Mike Tomlin doesn't pick the voting for Pro Bowl. I don't think. I think it's the fans that do that. So there's some points there. Him being the only undrafted player to be defensive player of the league. Well, I don't think anybody else has done that. And, you know, Mike Tomlin didn't pick him to be defensive player of the league. I think that's picked by, I guess there's like, isn't there like a
journalist?
Journalists and things like that. Yeah. So
the AP, Associated Press.
Yeah. So, you know, he definitely has some points, you know, of what he's talking about. You know, we heard Joey Porter and now we're hearing him. And yeah, there's definitely points to be said on both sides for sure.
Yeah. So now he's going to go into Tomlin a little bit. We've gone through before.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it for a little bit if I think it's a little bit of a retread.
Yeah.
Is there any other part of this you think we definitely need to listen to?
I think there's part of the end where Joe Hayden talks about how, I don't know if you heard it, but there's a part where he talks about how he was talking about how Ben Roethlisberger, had some off the field antics, but Joey Porter also had some off-field antics that was in the media as well when he was not on the team anymore, you know. So
I mean, you think it's towards the end?
It's towards the end, yeah. That one's towards the end.
Yeah, let's see if we can find that.
Because it's more of like Joe Hayden talking at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, he's talking for a good bit. Let's just hear what Jess has to say. We've heard Porter, we've heard Harrison, we've heard Ben. Yeah, let's just see what Hayden has to say here.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I went way harder than that. But he went on it because he obviously has a personal issue with Ben that hasn't been resolved.
Yes. So let me get in there. I actually spoke with both two. I spoke to Big Ben, and this morning when I was on the phone with him, he was like this, are you and Debo together? Because he's calling me right now. So I'm like, no, we're not together. We got a show coming up in a minute. So I talked to Ben, have a good relationship with Ben. So first I'm gonna get on the Ben subject. Like you said, Debo, Big Ben has been in the league for a very, very long time. Do you know what I'm saying? So like you said, when you first come in the league, when you're 21 years old, you're completely different than when you are by the time I got there. I got there when it was 10 years in, Ben, and he said at the same time, you grow, you do certain things. Everybody has different relationships with people. Like you said, Ben can be an asshole. You could bring up, if you wanted to, certain situations where, you know what I'm saying, he was an asshole. And he knows he was an asshole certain times. So there's things like that. So when we saying like breaking the brotherhood or bond, my thing is dudes like you, Joey Porter, that are in the locker room, that play for these teams, we spend so much time together, you know what I'm saying? Or just in there, in the locker room. I mean, you know how this person acts. You know what they do. You know what they get, how they act, how they around teammates, what they do in the meeting rooms. So we know them a lot more than everybody else would think that we know them. So when we get done, like now with the Steelers, with you guys being out, say when Ben said he feels like Coach T is being a little lenient. I think it's time for him his time is up in Pittsburgh. For Joey Porter being there with Ben through that whole time, and he feels like protecting. Like when Ben's in there, nobody really says anything. That was a good, like with the Steelers. When it's coming out now, when guys are retired and people are bringing up things that happen, there's relationships through this whole time when you spent time with each other, that happened. People don't really, some people don't like other people. Some people don't get along. Some people do get along. But when you do get out and you can start saying stuff like, Coach Tomlin was your coach. When Joey Porter said that you were 3-time Pro Bowler with Coach Tomlin, is that like, how does that make you feel like he's trying to feel like degrade, like Coach Tomlin gave this to you? That what you're saying?
So he's saying it's because of Tomlin. Tomlin came in and he headed over all that. The good thing Tomlin did was keep that defensive staff intact. He kept my linebacker coach, who is the person who will work with me day in and day out. He kept Dick LeBeau, whose defense is still one of the greatest defenses as long as it's played his way. Okay, that is what I'm giving the credit to. He's saying, well, without him, that would not have happened. I understand what he's saying. I see his reasoning, but again, we gonna have to agree to disagree.
So if you look back, I think it was Ken Wisenhunt, Mike Tomlin, and Russ Grimm, who looked like the three guys that were like up for the head coaching job. I think in any of those situations, Dick LeBeau is still going to be your defensive coordinator.
Yep.
He's going to still keep his linebackers coach. So I guess that's Harrison's point here. Is he's giving Tomlin credit for putting people in place that help him, but he seems to not want to give Tomlin any direct credit for developing him as a player.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, regardless of who the coach was, this probably would have happened anyway. And so for them to just be bickering and fighting, I mean, granted, we got to give Mike Tomlin his flowers. He went 20 seasons without a losing record. Yeah, he made two Super Bowl. Hall
of Fame.
Hall of Fame. You know, he made it 2 Super Bowls, won 1. You know, he. I mean, I don't know if that's really all his flowers there, but there were some other negatives with that, with not being able to win a playoff game since like 2017, not being able to get over that hump, having, Bill Cowher's defense coming in with that, and then, having these number ranked defense and still not being able to get to the next level and losing in the playoffs and things like that. And so I get it. Mike Tomlin, I agree. I don't think he was a great coach. I agree. He was a good coach. He was very good. He got a lot of wins. He did he got us some players that we never thought we would see, especially over these last couple of years on the team, helped with that. But there was good and bad with it all. So he was a good coach. He doesn't have the Super Bowl acclimates like Bill Belichick or Chuck Noll or things like that, but he doesn't have the losing records like the Browns do, or things like that. He doesn't have that. So yeah, I'd put him in the middle. I think he was a good coach. I can see both sides. Debo definitely did his thing on the field. He was there. I can see what Joey Porter's saying, and I can see what James Harrison is saying. So it's a toss up there on whatever side you really want to go to. It's just up in the air there.
Yeah, I mean, you can make any take on Tomlin work for you, really.
Yeah.
I wonder if you shuffled his seasons around, maybe he wins the Super Bowl, and so maybe he loses Super Bowl year 2, and then he wins that second Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I think the talk around him would be different, because it's not now. He didn't win with Tomlin's or with Cowher's guys.
Cowher's defense. Yeah.
And then if you shuffle around these playoff losses that he's had in a row and threw in some of those seasons where we did get wins, it's still the overall like ball that we have on him is I think it's still a great coach.
Yeah, 100%.
I get your point of calling him just a good coach, but the way it ended up, he went from being like, this is the valedictorian of our school, to, as the senior year comes, now he's just an honor roll student. Now he's getting B's instead of going getting anything higher than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still consider him a great coach.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I can respect it. We can respect it. And I talked to PZ too. And like you said, you can say that, and you can that's how you feel. You're correct to feel that way. But the peasy at the same time is when he's saying everything when you're in that locker room, and at the same time with what Ben's been through. And when I got to that locker room, Debo, too, it is a people, you get treated a certain type of way. Ben, Pouncey, myself, Cam, you know what I'm saying? It is vets get to move around a certain type of way. And if you don't like that, or if you rubs you the wrong way, then people are like, man, like everybody gets treated, you get treated fairly, but you don't get treated the same. And that's just something, that's just the way that it is. So I could even say, like, literally, that's the way things move. So when Ben speaks on that about leniency with younger dudes that don't really have that aura to be able to be, you supposed to be working harder. Like, you don't have that willing to be like, we don't.
What you want to say is a lot of self-anointing here.
It's a lot of self-anointing.
You got it now.
That's what I'm saying.
Here, you're my one, you're my two. I like you here. That's what it is. And that's what was going on.
But that's what I'm saying, where when you're in the league for a long time, and when it's vets, when it's you that's doing that, when it's Joey Porter that's doing that at first, and Ben, he's a young dude that's still like, he winning championships as a young dude, growing, doing things that he would regret, would take back. When I met Ben now, he's been nothing but nice to me because he's matured, he's married, he has his kids, he's in his faith. Like, that wasn't the same Ben back in 2006. You know what I'm saying? So I give him all the right. So people can, when Joey was there back in 2006, when he was going outside, when Ben was probably doing the same things Joey was doing, getting in fights, his stuff was outside. Everybody knew what Joey was doing. When Ben was doing things, it was tucked. Everybody's protecting him. Nobody's going to say nothing on it. So Peasy, at the same time, he can understand, like, we could have been acting like just like trying to bash you. There's things that happen in your past in the times that we've been there. We know we have a long relationship. I played with you and I was a coach, and I saw in the meeting room what you ain't have to show up for certain practices, but it's love because you're Ben. You know what I'm saying? So there's just things that happen like that it's in the code of, like, we're not going to say nothing, but then I can respect with Ben when I come in there. And you got vets moving around smooth, and then you got younger dudes. It's a little lenient in there where, no, they don't deserve no extra. That's how you can get, like, cracks. Little people don't know what's going on because you treating younger dudes that don't deserve to be like vets. And that's what kind of your locker room loses, like, you know what I'm saying, what it's really about. It's about the vets is getting treated like that because they're going to ball. They're not going to miss any assignments. They're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to be in their place. They got kids. They got family. So they moving in a certain way. When you're doing that to the younger players, that's not your team could be looking weak. So I could see where I think that's what the shot. But then Joey Porter is like, man, that's your coach. Coach Thomas been protecting you, had your back all this whole time. You don't be the one to tell him he got to leave and, like, that stuff. He just wouldn't want, like, you putting out family business. When same time, whole time, that whole
that's not putting out family business. Everybody can see that from the streets, bro. You want him to go on this podcast and say something?
No. I'm just telling you. I feel you. I'm with that. That's why I'm saying, well, what Ben's saying, for me coming from the outside looking in, that's what I would have said. Like, you can see the leniency part. I think that if just a little, like, the vets, dudes that don't deserve to be treated as vets being treated like vets, I could say that little wiggle room, it was too much. It was too much, a little blasé. You got to be on it. You know what I'm saying? The dudes like Pouncey deserves to have that because he's going to come. He knows everything you got to do. Off Wednesday practices, these younger dudes know all the reps, know exactly what you got to do. Extra reps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't put in the time to earn that. So seeing it that way, that's why I think Ben did it. And I think he was right to say that. And I think Joey saying that the family business, like, just been.
All right, I'm going to cut him off there.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the same thing going on and on there. What do you want to, anything you want to highlight from what he said there?
No, I mean, just about, again, you know, we talked about it last time, and we know in Pittsburgh, all the shit that happened with Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, people know about it. This shit happened when he was young. He did some things. And of course, you do stupid things when you're young. And then you learn from your mistakes, and you grow up and you mature and things like that. And like Joe Hayden said, you know, since he met Ben has been a different person and things like that. I mean, I've heard the news and seen the news of Joey Porter down here on the South Side getting into fights in the bars and shit out here with people, you know? And nobody's talking about that, and Joey Porter wants to bring up shit. Look, shit happens. It is what it is. There's no need to be fighting and bickering over things because somebody said one thing and somebody did another thing. And it's just high school drama BS at this point, you know? And it's nobody wants to bring up their past about things like that. And, you know, it's just what it is. But I think, you know, Joe Hayden just saw it from a outside perspective of things, and just, you know, from what he's seen, he knows how Ben is, he knows how Joey Porter is, he knows how James Harrison is, he knows what's going on. I think he said it right, you know, when you're a veteran, this is how it is. When you're a young guy, this is how it is. And you know, you just kind of take your licks as it comes, you know, when it comes to the game. You know, it's just what it is.
Yeah, and I do think this might be the end of it for a little bit.
Yeah,
Ben,
I do too.
Ben had his podcast. He didn't address this directly. He did address growing as a player. He didn't tie it at all into the Porter comments, but he did.
Yeah.
Growing as a person, not a player, I should say. Growing as a person. He talked about that.
Yeah.
In his personal life and things like that. So I do think that's going to be the end of this.
Yeah, because even James Harrison at the end of this, he says this will be the last time I speak on it. You know, so you know, I agree with you. I think this is going to kind of wash over at the end here.
So it will be the end for us today on that topic, but we do have another topic here today, and that is Steeler free agency. I'm going to pull up an article from The Athletic that was released recently. It has the top 20 Steeler free agents for this year. We're not gonna go too in depth on who we think is the best to keep and everything like that, but we will discuss whether or not we see these guys staying with the Steelers this year or moving on. And this is what we think, not what we want. All right?
Yeah.
So, this article is by Mike DeFabo, Athletic, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
First up on the list, he has Aaron Rodgers, the big name QB, obviously, 42 years old. We got Mike McCarthy coming in, former coach of Aaron Rodgers. What are your thoughts? Do you hear Rodgers coming back for one more year, or do you see this at the end?
I think he'll come back for one more year. Knowing that McCarthy now is going to be the new coach, I think if it was a different coach, I don't think he'd come back. But knowing McCarthy and having that relationship he had with him in the past, I think he may do one more year with McCarthy.
Yeah, so there's been recent reports that the chances of him coming back are pretty slim, but I just can't see that being the case with McCarthy coming in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trust those reports just yet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, I think he'll be back next year.
Yeah.
This one's a big one for me. Kenneth Gainwell. He was signed for just 1 year and 179 last season, so he's going to get a big bump in pay this season. Is it going to be with the Steelers?
I think it will be. I think he made a name for himself this season, and definitely being able to back up Jaylen Warren. I think that I think he will be back. I think that they see potential in what he did this past season. I think he'll be back.
They definitely want him back. But he's age 26. I think for him, he's going to have to try to get as much money as he can. And I don't know if the Steelers are going to be the team that's going to do that. So I want him back. I know the Steelers would want him back.
Yeah.
I think he's gone. I honestly do think he's gone.
I got you.
Hopefully I'm wrong. Wrong, but I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Next up, Isaac Seumalo, 32 years old. I'll go first here. I think he's been a steady guy, like this says here, and I think you try to keep him here. I think he's going to stay. They'll work it out. He's probably comfortable with the team. Why try to risk it somewhere else? I think he's a guy that they're going to keep.
Yeah, I think the same. I think they'll keep him too. I think it's like kind of a similar situation with like Cameron Hayward, him being an older veteran on the team and things like that, and being able to have that camaraderie that he has and knowing the system and things like that. So I think he will stay.
Next up is Calvin Austin III. I know he's been your guy for a while. I'll let you go first.
I do not think he's coming back. The injuries and not just having the best season he really had, being a number 2, I don't think that he will be back. I think that with Mike Tomlin leaving, I think maybe he might have, and different changes and things like that, I think that he'll go seek employment somewhere else on another team. I don't think he'll be back this year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to match up money or role wise.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they got to upgrade the position. He
Yeah.
can't be the number 2 or the
Yeah.
number 3 in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's probably going to win a bigger role somewhere. So I
Yeah.
think he's gone. I think
Mhm.
we're on the same page there. Next up is James Pierre. They cut him at the beginning of the training camp, or at the end of the training camp. I'm sorry about that. But then he came back. He played some for us here. I've always been a fan of him.
Yeah.
But I guess they're not. They cut him at
Yeah.
the end of training camp. To
Yeah.
try to replace him in the offseason, they had signed so many veterans. I don't think they trust him enough. I think he'll be gone. He might even
Yeah.
get slighted.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone too. I think he's going to look elsewhere. He's a very talented player. I like him as well. But to see that, they cut him and then they bring him back because of injuries and things like that, like you said, I don't think they saw potential in him, but I think he'll look elsewhere and try to, be able to get a starting position somewhere else on another team.
Mhm. Let's see who we got next. Asante Samuel Jr. Obviously came in halfway through the year. Um, I I guess I'm gonna say no. I think he'll be gone in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone somewhere else too. It was just they picked him up just to fill a spot. I don't think they would have picked him up if there wasn't the injuries that they had, and so I think he was just a fill-in spot kind of guy that they needed at the time. I don't think that he will be back.
Mhm. Next up, Carter Hayward. I can't stop yawning. I think he's back. He has a role in this team that seems to make more sense than if he were to go out there and try to risk it and go somewhere else. He might not find a similar role. So I think it's best for both parties for him to stay on.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll be back as well, especially with his brother on the team. He probably doesn't want to really leave that relationship that he
Yeah.
does have, and getting the role that he does get here, like you said, I don't think he'll get that anywhere else. So I do think he'll be back.
Next up is Kyle Duggar, another guy they got in the middle of the season, right? Those mid-season ones, you just expect them to be gone. You
Yeah,
think of them as more spill-ins. So again with Duggar, I did like how he played a little bit for us
yeah.
down the line, but I think he'll be gone as well.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone as well. He was cut from the team from the Patriots, and he was picked up by us. And he had a very when he just seeing him out there, he did have a pretty decent season with us out there. And I think that he'll go somewhere and find a team where he can definitely be a starter for sure for a whole season. So I think he'll be
That
gone.
that speed run through the last few here. First two is Isaiah Loudermilk and Cole Holcomb. I'll go Loudermilk. Both I think those both stick around. Contracts
Yeah.
might not be too high. I don't think money's gonna be too much of an issue. You want to keep some people around, so I'll keep them both actually.
Yeah, I think they'll both be back. I think that they made some splash plays here and there during the season, so I think they'll be back.
Mhm. And then next up we have Scantling and Jabril Peppers, two more guys that came in during the season. I think Peppers is the better shot of coming back than Scantling. Other than the fact, if Rogers stays,
Mhm.
I guess Scantling's gonna stay. So I'm gonna go 50-50 on both these guys here.
I think they're both going to leave. I think that again they were fill-in guys that were picked up mid-season. I think they're going to go find try to get a starting position somewhere else. I think they'll both be gone.
Makes sense. Andrews Pete, he was solid enough, right? He started a couple games there. He wasn't supposed to be much here. He's a guy that they can replace though. He's 32. I'm gonna go say he's gonna be gone next year.
I'm going to say they'll keep him. I think that he'll be back. I
Uh-huh.
think that he'll get a little bit more playing time this season if he stays, and I think they will keep him. Yeah.
Next up is Miles Killebrew. Great special teams guy. He was hurt obviously this year. I think they'll bring him back, right?
Yeah, Miles Killebrew. I think he's definitely made a name for himself on the team. I think that he will be back as well, and he'll be on the team this season.
Hopefully he's healthy too.
Yeah.
So 2 names here that are interesting. Scotty Miller, who's still only 28, which is surprising to me, and then Chuck Clark. I think Clark played pretty well at times here. So I'm gonna go yes on Clark. I'm gonna go no on Miller. I think they'll be able to find more receivers, just kind of like with Calvin Austin.
I think Scotty Miller and Chuck Clark are both going to be gone at the end of
Okay.
this. I think they will end up on another team somewhere else. I just think that with the change in staff and coaching, I think that they're probably going to fill some different positions with some different guys. So I think they both will be gone.
So we got Skylar Thompson. I think he's gone. I think the QB room's gonna be a little different, but not overly crazy. But I think for sure you got Will Howard for sure. Maybe we should say for sure on Rudolph, but I think Rudolph will stay on the team next year. So those are 2 spots already. You're expecting your starting quarterback, so that's going to be Rodgers or someone else they get either free agency or in the draft. So I think Thompson's gone.
Yeah, I think Thompson's gone too. I think that he showed some potential in the preseason. Again, I know it's against second and third string guys, but I think he showed a little bit of flash plays during the preseason, and I think he may end up getting a backup somewhere else on another team.
Got a couple defensive tackles here. Daniel Ikuwale. Like it says here, he didn't play much last season. I don't see him sticking around. He'll probably be gone.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone as well. We didn't, like you said, we didn't see him much out there, and so without the playing time to see too much, I don't think that he'll be on the team next season.
And Lowry, as it says here, was hurt, turning 32. I think he'll be gone, right?
Yeah, as well. I mean, injury doesn't help with things like that, so I think that he will be gone as well.
Yeah, they probably should have just cut off these last few. Max
Yeah.
Sharping. Who cares, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know the guy. He'll probably be gone. Yeah.
Here's some restricted free agents, guys that the Steelers will have the option to match and tender contracts too. It talks about it here. There's 3 types of tenders: first round, second round, right of first refusal. And here's some players that are among those. Ryan McCollum will be a backup center. Corliss Waitman, I can't see them letting him go. He's a great punter.
Yeah.
Esezi Otuwemu, I messed that up. That's a good day. And then Jeremiah. So yeah, there's some guys there. I think Waitman's a big name there, just to talk for a few seconds. But yeah, that's 20 free agents by Mike DeFabo.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. Probably butchering it from The Athletic. But there we go. It's a fun little game. I think we
yeah.
got a lot of guys on there. You
Yeah.
got some other things you want to talk about before we head out, right?
Yeah, real quick. I got quick things to talk about real quick. With the Winter Olympics still going on, I just want to run through some things. I just want to go give the top 5 countries with the medal count. So right now, Norway is number 1 with a total of 34 medals, 16 gold, 8 silver, 10 bronze. USA is second right now with 27 total medals, 9 gold, 12 silver, 6 bronze. Right behind them is Italy with 26 total, 9 golds, 5 silver, and 12 bronze. Behind them is France with 19 total medals right now. They have 6 gold, 8 silver, 5 bronze. And the 5th place right now is the Netherlands at 16 total medals with 6 gold, 7 silver, and 3 bronze. The women, I think hockey team, U.S. hockey team, just won the gold. And they actually had a black woman on the team that won her first gold medal for black, playing hockey. Fucking great. Real quick, there is no unknown status right now on Sidney Crosby getting injured.
Yeah.
They were talking about it was a leg injury. It's day by day, but the coach did say that if he can play, he's not ruled out for the semifinal. And then if they make it to the gold medal game, he is not ruled out for either of those. But right now, I know that they're in the kind of like the break for the season. Sidney Crosby right now for the team He's played 56 games for the team. He has 27 goals, 32 assists, and 59 points, which he's doing well for, as a 38-year-old guy playing hockey right now. Yeah, Penguins right now, they're second in the Metro division right now, currently second with 70 points right now. So they're doing pretty good. They have 26 games left in their season. So once, I think at the end of the month, they'll be coming back on. We have an interesting for the NBA real quick. Of course, we know OKC right now is the best team in the West. They are the contenders to probably win back to back. But the number one seed in the East is the Pistons, who were fucking shit last year, and now they're fucking the number one team in the East. So that's
good drafting.
Good drafting. Yeah, I think they're doing pretty good. Yeah. And last but not least, we'll be talking about this soon. The Pirates' first spring expedition game is this Saturday against the Orioles at 1:05 p.m. What are your thoughts on that?
So yeah, the spring training will start there, and then right after that, we got the World Baseball Classic that starts in early March.
Early March, yeah.
Going off of you're talking about Crosby getting hurt in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens is pitching in the World Baseball Classic, obviously.
Oh boy.
Pirate fans will be having their fingers crossed with the scare with Crosby. But they open up. They have $100 million payroll for the first time in the history to open a season.
Wow, Bob Nutton spending some money.
Yeah. But there's still some holes in there, but everyone respects their pitching. It's going to be a competitive team at least.
Yeah.
They're not going to put if you look at the roster compared to the rosters they put out like 3 years ago, even in 2023, it's mesmerizing. I think 3 players are still on that team. O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, and Mitch Keller, the only guys that are left over from just 3 years ago. But yeah, it's a fun pitching staff. They also have the most hyped hitting prospect in years. Some are saying since Mike Trout, some say since Bobby Witt Jr., Connor Griffin, who's only 19 years old, but they're not rolling out him making it on the opening day roster. So it'll be interesting. What these buckos do. Hopefully Connor Griffin gets a lot of play during spring training and he hits some bombs to get himself on the team.
That'd be great. And didn't you say, and I know we'll get into it once the season gets ready to start up, but I think we were talking the other day when you were saying that they're projected to do pretty well this season.
So now, pretty well, they're currently a 42% chance of making the playoffs according to Fangraphs, second place in the division. So there's I think Vegas only has them at 77 wins. This Fangraphs is about 82 to 83 wins.
Wow.
So much better than last season.
Yeah.
I think last year there's a 20% chance according to Fangraphs. So they've doubled their percent chance of making the playoffs according to them. And I like Don Kelly a lot more than I like Derek Shelton.
Yeah.
Maybe that. If you remember last season, they just were miserable to start the year off. Under Kelly, they were pretty much close to 500 for the most part. So get a couple more pitchers going in there. You add hitting. The hitting can't get any worse than it was last year. So I think there's a shot at improvement. If they were to win 10 more games, that only gets them to 81 now. So a 20-win increase, that's tough to do in baseball. 15, it's not out of the question. You get to 15, that's 86 wins, and you're probably in the playoffs.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll have the talk as the season gets on, but their first spring expedition game this Saturday at 1:05 p.m. against the Orioles.
Watch live.
Watch it live.
Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Got to pay money for it. It's all fucking money now. These fucking schmucks.
I'll see you.
I'll see you.